Blessed Friday o Happy Fiesta. Ilabi na sa tanan nga mga Jose. Actually, a very significant way of experiencing and relishing this very great feast or solemnity is through the very example of Saint Joseph, who clearly, as it is in the writings of the Gospel, nga wagid siya gisulti nga usa ka pong. And this is what we call the significance of silence in our lives. That kind of silence nga sometimes, if not most of the times, is so arresting because we are not used to such a kind of silence. Actually, when Joseph is presented in the Gospels, especially the Gospel of St. Matthew, because this is the only Gospel where there is a connection to the Davidic lineage. Actually, the opening statement or verse of our Gospel reading today actually reminds us of the opening statement of the genealogy, because the names Joseph actually and Jacob are also the same names of the first patriarchs. After Abraham, whose son was Isaac, who was the father of Jacob, and Jacob also was the father of Joseph, we have an interesting connection, although silently provided, in the background, because it's a review of sorts. But here we are focusing on the most silent person in the Bible. Now, this silence that is God's gift to us as well is a way of connecting to how God speaks to us in our hearts when He touches every grain of our being. Kana bang dili ang pagtipig, ang paghambin, usahay hambin og tipig sa Cebuano na may negative nga kahulugan, no? Kanang maghambin ka sa imong kaugalingon kay tungod sa imong kasuko. But this is something of an active silence or a dynamic silence. I don't know if this is classified in English as onomatopoeia, no? Contradiction of terms. But active silence is actually something that we also have to take into perspective from all throughout the scriptures regarding those whom God had chosen. Pipila raman kabuok ang gihatag diha sa Biblia nga kuan kanang naay mosulti gyud, no, mo express, but most of them, they were doing it in the silence of their hearts, responding creatively and dynamically into the will of God, because after all, the will of God is the one that has to emerge. And another point, second thing, and the last point we have to reflect on this very great feast of Saint Joseph is, since he is the foster father of the Word incarnate, he does not have to say something about, because he wants the Word to be speaking to us, not just to be spoken, but he allows the Word incarnate to speak to us. And this is where we find the treasure and the value of Saint Joseph. Allowing God to speak into our hearts, allowing the Word incarnate to make a sense in our lives, especially through our deeds and actions. And so as we continue with this Eucharistic celebration, being a solemnity, we are exercising, we are experiencing, we are celebrating what a usual Sunday celebration is. And here, we have to profess our faith, okay, to feel the very existence of the message of hope in our lives for our times today. Despite the silence that it may bring to us, let this silence be, as it is said, golden. No? The golden silence that makes sense in every heart and in every person. Amen.